Hello.
Hi. So
Hi, Pradeepa. I have a question. So, after this session, would it be possible to share the recordings? Because, sometimes it is better to go through that recording once or twice.
yeah, it will be uploaded in my website, the thinkific.com, right? So it will be uploaded there.
Sorry, which website?
The thing, my website, I gave you a link.
Yeah,
It will
yeah.
be uploaded there. Yes.
Oh,
Okay, so yeah, so I just want to like give a heads up on what are the see, because it's not always easy breezy, right? People think like, oh, I'm getting coaching now, I'm going to be like, I'm going to get a job, and I'll say, I nobody can guarantee you a job. Nobody can. If someone says that I'm okay, you finish this course, you are going to get the job, then that's lie, that's faking. Okay, so nobody can guarantee you a job. Nobody can say that you will get a job in like maybe 10 days, 20 days. Nobody can tell that. It takes immense amount of effort from my side as well as from your side to learn these concepts, because from my side I have to transfer all my 15 years of knowledge to you. That's one thing. And then second thing is like from your side, it's completely you may be having a career gap, or you're from non-IT, and it's difficult for you also to grasp all this in 30 days. And then you're going to like actually convince a real human being in the interview that you have experience, and then get into IT, right? It will happen, but I don't want you to get frustrated during this process. This is a journey. Okay, I don't want you to give up, and I don't want you to like feel like a failure if you don't clear the very first interview, or even the second interview, or even the third interview. You have to like think from a growth perspective. Okay, in the very first interview, what is the feedback? You're going to write it down, you're going to learn that, and then you're going to like practice. And again, in the second interview, I'm going to do a little bit better, maybe 10% better, maybe 20% better. Then what is the problem? Why they're not hiring me? What is something they're lacking in me? Then again, you're going to do that constant review and feedback on your skill set. And then maybe like after like third interview or fourth interview, you will surely clear it. But I don't want you to think like, okay, maybe in the very first interview, I have to get the job. That's not how things work. In reality, it's not at all like that. And I've trained, in my experience, I've been training from like, I don't know, maybe last 10 years or so, or actually in my starting of my career, from 21 years, I'm a trainer. Okay. From that time, I've been training people, and half the people, like they lose the, excitement and everything, because they don't want to deal with all this like interview failures and stuff. They'll be like, what if they ask me that question, what if they ask me this question? So you have to be very open about this interviewing process. It's okay if you fail, if they ask, it's okay if multiple people are going to ask you so many questions, that's totally fine. My career goal is like, somehow I want to enter as a BA in one of the leading MNCs, and so that I just want to like crack one of the interviews, then get into an IT company, and then start my career. That should be my career goal. And I'm not worried about the strangers, right? That interviewer, I mean, you'll even forget that guy's name after the call, after that 1 hour call. You totally forget the their first name and last name. You'll forget it. Don't give importance to that embarrassment thing. If you're like so much focused on those embarrassments, you're never going to get rich. Okay, if you want to get rich, throw away all your fears or like all these embarrassments, all your emotions. Don't hang on to that. Your mindset should be like, I want to get highly paid, I want to become a BA, and I want to become, I want to like just have a better lifestyle. What should I do for that? For that, I'm going to learn the concepts, I'm going to upgrade my skills, and I'm going to like perform well in the interview. And in the interview, if someone is going to screw me, that's totally fine. Okay, I'm going to write down the feedback, and then I'm going to apply next time, and I'm going to go for a next interview. If not this interview, maybe the 20th interview, I'll clear it. So you should always be like focused on the goal, but not on that rejection part, or on the failure part, or on the fear part, or on the embarrassment part. Okay, that's totally fine. Nobody's going to nobody's perfect. Nobody is going to, like, even the interviewer, who the guy who's going to interview, right? He's saying that he doesn't know when they're going to fire him. They can fire him like tomorrow. He can be the CEO. CEO gets fired all the time. You know that, right? So people like from CEOs, staff VPs, directors, managers, your like other like colleagues, developers, testers, they all get fired and they all get embarrassed. So you should not take all these emotions in your mind, and just you have to work on the goal only. What's my career goal? I have to get into be a job in an IT company. That's all. That all matters. Other than that, nothing matters. Okay. So just have that mindset for the next like 30, 40 days. And then like whatever I'm going to teach you, please learn those things very well. And then please do all those assessments and all, and get, if you just follow my instructions and then like just copy me, and then if you're going to do whatever I'm going to say, if you say that in the interview, 95% you will get cleared. 95% I'm just saying, just follow my instructions and then just copy me and then answer in the interview, you should be able to clear it. But if you are something it's still lacking or something that you don't get it, then maybe in that one-on-one, right after this session, right, in that one-on-one I will tell you like what you have to do or how to improve and all, but it will take some time. Don't think in 1 day or 2 days you'll be able to crack the interview. Okay. Okay, any questions till now on the training program, what we are going to teach? You want to add me? You want me to add any other topics?
Pradipha, can I just ask you a quick question?
Yes.
In our program, is there any way that we can just email you our resume, then you can just like have a view of it, then just telling us what's the good or bad things on the resume? Is that
Yeah. Send me your resume, Lucia. Okay, so I can maybe connect with you separately on that.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Does anybody has any other
Yeah,
question? Mhm.
I have a question. So, I've been applying for the jobs
Mhm.
for the senior VA role because I trained before. I told you that. I,
Mm.
yeah. Uh, Most of the jobs they require SQL, especially in IT. So, are we going to learn basics about SQL or something?
Yeah, I can teach you basics of SQL. Yes.
Okay.
Do you have any idea about SQL or no?
Yes, I do because I've been training. I've taken a small crash course from Khan. I don't know if you know
Khan
that website.
Academy.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. And then on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
I studied. I do have a background
Mm-hmm.
because I studied in computer applications. I did my bachelor's, but then I moved to a different industry, so I never trained myself with all these applications and coding languages. But now I'm trying to do my best.
Yeah. We will cover SQL. Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And I also sent my resume plus the LinkedIn profile I
Mm-hmm.
made. So if you can, whenever you get time, I'm hoping that if you can provide me feedback on that, that would be a great help.
Sure. Okay. And then Bindu. Bindu is, hi
It's
Bindu.
me, Santoshi,
Santoshi. Okay.
Pradeepa. Yeah, that is my daughter name. I was
Daughter
saying
name
it.
Bindu. Okay. Good. Okay. I'm like, who's Bindu?
Okay.
Okay, Santoshi. Like, do you have any other questions for us?
So far I'm good, Pradeepa. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's start with we have 10 more minutes. So I'll start with this banking. I want to give you a little bit idea about this check deposit project, right? So what I'm going to teach you from a project perspective, like we are going to take this application. So we are going to create a mobile application in Pega. Okay. And from a Pega perspective, for example, now, like let's say that, so if the customer clicks on Bank of America's mobile banking link, what will happen? Oops. So okay, so the process is like customer is ending. So the requirement will be the data flow is like this. Okay, so customer will start from here. and they can get the application. So mobile app, it can be iPhone or Android. So if you see this page for mobile banking deposit, they have a separate link for Zeal. Why is this very slow? Okay, so but I'll tell you with the high data flow. Okay, so once the customer is going to select one of their device, let's say iPhone, and then once they click on that, it's going to ask for the phone number. And once they give the phone number, there is going to be an electronic notification regarding this QR code. Okay, so using this QR code, they'll be able to like download in the App Store. They'll be able to like download the Bank of America's application. Okay, so when they log in, okay, so when they log in, what is the first screen is going to come? I think they're going to see their home page. So once they see their home page, right, then they're going to have somewhere this option called mobile check deposit. Okay, so in the mobile check deposit, yeah, this is the page, right? So in the mobile check deposit, there are 3 steps the customer has to follow. So first thing is like they need to have an actual check, and in the actual check, there needs to be a valid first name, last name, and the dollar amount, the date, and then a signature, right? This needs to be, so these will be your business requirement. So data flow is like the customer needs to first of all have access to our mobile application. So the assumption is customer is having one of these devices. This is the assumption. Okay, so now once they have this mobile app in their phone, now the customer needs to have the check, right? And that check, there are 2 ways of validating this check. First is like they needs to have, when they scan it through their phone, the OCR technology must be able to like grasp the first name, last name, amount, and signature. And depending upon the account number, it needs to validate whether there is actual amount also. So what it will do is like it's going to take a few data. So those keywords as a BA, you only have to give it to the OCR team. So when we say OCR team, yours is just mobile banking and you're integrating with OCR team. So this is a different application. That scanning part, that's a different application. Okay, don't just confused. Yours is like once it is scanned, a case is being created here in Pega. Okay, this is a Pega-based application. And now the scanning technology is not your technology. You're not this team. Okay, the scanning is a different application. And the scanning application is now able to extract these data, right? They're able to extract these data, and then a happy path, everything is fine. All the validation is happening. So it's going to like ask for submit, click deposit or submit deposit. And then once you click on submit deposit, now the customer has to get confirmation in seconds. So this is all real time. It's not batch processing. It's all like through API. This is all real time. Okay. Then yes, so that amount is going to get transferred to your account. Okay, it's just 3-step process. So for this particular like requirement, if they ask you like to gather requirements, and if I'm the business owners, now tomorrow I will tell you like initially what you will do. So the process is like 3-step process. Anybody who has a valid check, that is like first name, last name, and then the dollar amount, date, and signature. If an customer is like scanning that check, then what our system that has to do is like it needs to extract certain keywords from the check, and then once the member validation is done, it needs to like transfer that amount to your bank account and maybe in seconds. Also, there needs to be an electronic notification to your email ID or maybe phone number, however, whatever is a customer's preference, right? Accordingly, you need to get that electronic notification. So this is the business requirement. So high level business requirement is customer is able to process a check deposit using the mobile banking application. This is a high level business statement. Now that statement to convert one statement into multiple user stories. So from a development perspective, how you will like, so they're telling you in the call, okay, so when they scan the check, amount needs to be transferred. That's the high level business statement or a business requirement or a business need. Okay, in plain simple English, they're telling that. But how will you convert that into a technical requirement? So first thing is like, assumption is like member needs to have access to one of these applications through their phone. Okay, that's the first requirement. And they need to have a valid check. That's the second requirement. And in the check, everything needs to be written properly. There is no bad scanning, no coffee spill, no bad handwriting. All these are out of scope. In scope is a very good check. Out of scope is like bad handwriting, coffee spill, very old or unable to scan, bad scanning too. All that will be out of scope scenarios. So in scope is like I have a proper, very good check and I have a good lighting too. And when once a customer is scanning it, the OCR application must be able to extract all this and create a case in my Pega application. In the backend, it has to create multiple validations here. So it needs to do member validation and then amount validation, date validation, all these validations. And then it's going to like create a case in my Pega application in the backend. And then once it completes all the validations, when everything is good, when the customer submit deposit, immediately the next second, right, it has to get a notification has to go to the customer. So for that one business requirement, you're going to have multiple user stories. First user story is the scanning part. It needs to extract all the data. The second user story is like all these validations, right? Member validation, member first name, last name validation, member ID, account number validation, and dollar amount validation, signature validations. All the different validations our developer has to do. That is the second user story. Third user story is if everything is fine, and then through the API call, we are going to extract that amount from the different, because it can be from same bank or different bank. It can be from the check can be from same Bank of America or it can be from different bank too. So if it's going to be an external bank, in the back end, we're going to have that API transaction to that external bank. We're going to check whether this person has amount or not. If there is insufficient balance, we have to throw an error saying that insufficient balance. Okay, that's one that is called as check bouncing, right? So we are going to like show that error. That is third user story. Fourth user story is like happy path is everything is fine. If they click on submit, the amount needs to be transferred and an electronic notification has to go. So this is all real time. This needs to happen maybe in like maximum in like 3 to 4 minutes. The customer must be able to do it. Okay. From a performance level, maximum 5 minutes, the customer must be able to do it. So this is how you will transfer like a high level business requirement into multiple technical user stories. And yeah, so we are almost 9 now. Tomorrow I will tell you like we will start the program in detail. This is like in the very first day. I don't want to teach so much technically, but tomorrow we will learn about like all this fundamental business analysis fundamentals, right? Okay, if this is the project, then what are the techniques I'm going to use? What are the different requirements? And for this project, how to write BRDs, user stories, epics tasks, and then how to like write FRDs and draw diagrams, right? So we'll focus on that from tomorrow. Okay, any doubts till now?
Pradeepa, what is the like a OCR team stands for? What's the full name of the OCR?
Optical character recognition. So if you're scanning something, okay, if you're scanning a QR code, if you go to a restaurant and on the table there is a QR code, okay, when you scan it through your phone, is it taking to a different website?
Yes.
So that technology is called OCR.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Optical character recognition. Optical means eyes. Character means words recognition.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, so something like through your phone, it's by scanning system, right? It's able to recognize the characters and take you to wherever you want, maybe to a website or maybe to a payment page. Here, it's going to take you to a mobile application. You got it, Lucia? It's called, let me write down. Okay, optical character recognition, something that through a scanning process, we are able to extract data. That's called, this is the latest technology we are trying to implement in almost like everything, right? In restaurants, in banking and healthcare, wherever we go, we want to like no longer, nobody wants to stand in line, just scan, scan, scan. Okay, good. I think we are good for today. And then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you very much.